Hey y'all, it's Nancy the Handy Scandy here with this Calls for Confetti. Thank you for joining me. I am going to be playing with some of the new products from the August 1st release. Namely, I have the die set that is called What Lies Within. It's this beautiful, creepy haunted house pair of dies, and I also have the Ghostly Greetings die set, which is the Boo word die, and it's triple layered, and also there's a series of 3 different sweet ghosties that are also layers. So let's go ahead and get started on my project. On screen I have a sheet of watercolor cardstock, and I'm playing with the Distress Spray Stains, the Distress Spritzes, and the Distress Mica Stains. So I've got a lot of distress sprays going on, and I'm working to create what I feel like is the ultimate ooky spooky creepy Halloween background night sky. So I didn't want your traditional red, yellow, orange night sky with the purple, black, blue edges. Those are beautiful, and I often do those. But for this one, I wanted something kind of sickly looking. And so that's why I went with the green and the yellow, and then added the dark blue and the black. And so right now I'm just adding a little bit of a shimmer spray. It wouldn't spray for me, so I'm just using the nozzle to flick it out. And what I'm trying to do with that, my intention was to try to create some stars. Now you can see that that's not working. It just kind of blended together. And as it started to dry, I pulled out my heat tool and I went ahead and helped it along in the drying. What I did not mention is that water is a very good tool when you're working with sprays or lots of other mediums, but for me, water is a serious tool, and I use it a lot to get my mediums to flow and move where I want. Now once I had it dry, I went back in with some more of the mica stains just to give me a little bit more glow. And the glow of that mica stain in those spritzes is what is going to shine brightly behind these covered eyes. So this is a layering covered eye. As you can see, this is the front layer. The back layer I will have die cut in white. And I'll show you how I use that second layer here in just a minute, but I don't use it the way that it's intended. Layering dies is difficult for my creative brain, so I found a way that worked for me. And then I will also be pulling in some of these beautiful ghosties and that boo word from the Ghostly Greetings. Now I've trimmed down that Distress Spray panel, and you can see that I'm chomping off the corners on the right hand side of the card base, as well as the Distress panel, and I'm also trimming down this black cardstock that you can see as well, and I will be chomping those corners too. Now when I start to layer all my panels and actually construct the card, I'm going to shift the panels, the decorative panels, all the way to the left hand side. We call it left justified, right? When you're doing a document, you left justify. And so that's exactly what I'm doing, and that creates some visual interest. And because the corners are chomped on the right, but the whole panel is shifted to the left, it also creates a balance and a symmetry, or an asymmetry, but it works. And it's something different for the eye to look at, right? So it doesn't take a whole lot to take your card up a level, if you will, up a notch, as we used to say, and just give it something different, something unique, something original. So I'm also chomping the corners of the die cuts. And of course on the inside corner it's still squared off, but that's okay. I just wanted, again, that symmetry. And so here is where I bring in the back layer to this cover die. And so the idea, the intention was so that you could just quickly layer them up together. You wouldn't have to be die cutting any tiny pieces. It required fussy cutting and then gluing them down to the back of the haunted house to fill in the lights behind it to represent what lies within, right? But for my creative brain and my clumsy fingers, it's easier for me to try to cut the little pieces and fill those spaces than it is to layer. Layering dies, like I mentioned, is difficult for me, and this is what works better for my creative brain than trying to layer the whole thing and getting all of those bits and pieces lined up. You could also purposefully offset it to the left or to the right, or you can offset them up or down or to the corners, or any combination thereof, right? Whatever works for you, for your particular project, in the moment that you're crafting. There's so many different variables, and there's no police that's going to come in and say you did it wrong, right? That to me truly is the creative genius behind Lisa and all of these beautiful things that she creates. I am in love with this die set, and again, there is no right or wrong way to use it. You use it how it works for you. This is what I came up with that works for me. So I did put a little bit of mirror card. I just trimmed it down. You saw me just chomping off bits, and I just glued them right down to the back of both of those houses. You just saw how I trimmed off the moon and used my mica stains to, or my spray stains and my mica sprays to add the color and the texture and that beautiful shine of the mica to my moons. And then I glued them down, and now I want to make sure that I have all glue on all the bits and pieces here so that it lays down and it actually adheres to all of that mica and all of the sprays that are on that night sky background. Because sometimes when you have a lot of buildup there, it's difficult for your die cut pieces or your other panels to adhere to all of that texture. So just making sure that I have loads of glue, not an excess of glue, but enough glue so that everything actually touches, makes contact, and then that glue can kind of shift down into the nooks and crannies and actually adhere things together. And that takes glue, and it takes time, and it also takes pressure. So here is where I'm coming in with my sweet little ghosties from the Ghostly Greetings die set, and the Boo greeting is also from that die set as well. Now these ghosty dies were also intended to be layer dies, and again the idea is so that you don't have to fussy cut those bits and pieces to fill in the facial features. Again, for me it's easier to cut those bits and pieces, but again, going back to what I said earlier, everybody's creative brain works a little bit differently. So in terms of all of the products that you have in your crafty space, you use them in a way that works for you. But don't be afraid to use them in ways that weren't intended, right? Stretch those dies, stretch those stamps, those stencils, all of those beautiful supplies that you have. Use them in different ways. Make them count. Make them work for their money. So guys, these are my cards with that ooky, spooky, creepy, sickly background that is now suddenly a beautiful background for these ghostly greeting cards. I absolutely love them. I love these products from TCFC, and again, the genius that is Lisa's creative brain. I'm so honored to be here sharing these things with you. I encourage you guys, if you have not hopped along in the IG hop that's going on right now, you want to hop over there. This is my offering for the Instagram hop, by the way, for our August 1st release. So hop over there and see what's going on. The giveaway ends on the 12th, I believe, so you have another day or two. Get on over there. Go ahead, like, subscribe, and stay tuned because there's going to be plenty more coming up and you don't want to miss out. So thanks for spending time with me, guys. This is Nancy, the Handy Scandy, for This Calls for Confetti. And until next time, mwah, I'm out.